So let's have a conversation on Candace Owen and Frank Turek. Frank Turek, as most individuals know, he was a close friend of Charlie Kirk. So there are a lot of rumors which have been going on accusing him in one way or another. He was related to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Generally, individuals do accuse TPUSA as one of the organizations which betrayed Charlie Kirk, which I tend to agree. Because the statements which are coming from the likes of Erika Kirk, we have Andrew Calvert, all those individuals, their statements are always lies. One states another lie and then it's proved it's a lie. So, Frank Turek, after Candace Owen released some evidence showing that probably as those individuals who have come up with another theory saying that Charlie Kirk was not shot, there was this substance known as petra, pentatra, pentraetratriol tetranitrate (BETN) was used as an explosive to kill Charlie Kirk. So there are some evidence which proves this to be the case. But Frank Turek, there were some statements which he said that he probably did an emergency kind of an act as they were taking him to the hospital, and then it goes ahead and tries to contradict what he said also when they arrived at the hospital. But in a recent revelation by Candace Owen, Frank Turek had an interview at News Nation. Newsmax, something like that. Newsmax, which I understand is one of the most far-right news outlet in the United States of America. This is where those individuals who are the likes of Donald Trump do follow or get their news from. Let's observe what Frank Turek had to say concerning the issue of Candace Owen accusing him that somehow he was involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk.
If you come after a widow or the fatherless, God says, I will hunt you down with the sword and kill you. It also says in Deuteronomy 19 that if you falsely accuse someone of a crime and you're found out, you get the penalty of the crime. So if you falsely accuse someone of murder, you're the one that gets executed.
I got to bring this up because I know that it's just, to me, the enemy is working through this woman's mouth. Candace Owens, just on her show last night, brought you up again and tries to paint you again as somebody that had something to do with, knowledge of, or was even a part of the killing of Charlie Kirk. What do you think is driving her to share this kind of madness like that?
Well, as I just said, David, we had a murder, which is what Satan will do. And since the murder, right after the memorial service, what have we had out of Candace Owens? Slander, accusations, and lies seeking to steal, kill, and destroy. She wants to burn down Erika Kirk. She wants to burn down TPUSA.
Here's the thing. One of the things which I know or I understand is that I have mentioned it before. I am always skeptical of those individuals who try to use the Bible, more especially when they are pressed with hard questions and they have no response at hand. From what you can observe, even if you don't support TPUSA, even if you are a big fan of TPUSA, one of the things which you can realize, TPUSA has been involved in a lot of lies. And I'm always even skeptical of the individual that is Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk, from my own observation, he got so excited so quickly after the murder of her husband. I don't know what is the right time frame an individual needs to go ahead and mourn, but for her it was an instant. She was all over the social media platforms, news outlets, trying to give out some interviews. So instead of Frank Turek going ahead and responding to the what some of his critics have gone ahead and given, he is now threatening that Candace Owen may end up facing, how can I say, he may end up, these all things are allegedly, I don't want to be kind of done whatever. So she is trying to accuse Candace Owen that those individuals who lie, they are also likely going to face the same fate, which to me is kind of a threat. It's my own opinion, but I strongly believe those are somehow kind of a threat. He doesn't want to face the substance. He doesn't want to face the accusations. What was he doing? What are the statements which he said are not aligning with what he is trying to say? And some individuals have come forward and said that Charlie Kirk was not actually murdered by an assassin. He was not shot. So this whole idea that individuals are saying he had a neck of steel, he had some strong whatever, those are just lies. And also, there are some statements which the likes of Frank Turek are saying that Charlie Kirk didn't want to change or was in strong support of the Israeli, I can say, government. But from the observation, from the evidences which have been provided, Charlie Kirk was one of those individuals who was changing his perspective when it comes to Israel. Tucker Carlson was inspired by Charlie Kirk to go march against the Israeli government. Even Candace Owens has provided some evidence saying that not Candace, but Charlie Kirk had changed his perspective when it came to the government of Israel. So this whole narrative that Frank Turek is trying to say, those those who are going after the widow, they are likely going to be cursed. These those tactics are some of the most useless tactics mostly Christians use. And there is this narrative which most Christians have been using now and again that probably we are allowing, let's say, the Muslim religion to go ahead and take over the United States of America. When things are so hard for them to give some explanation, they resort to the Israeli, not Israeli, but the Muslim hatred. Individuals are not buying those narratives. What individuals are having to kind of tackle is what happened during the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Why was there some kind of organizing? Why was there some kind of weird behaviors which are not normal? Okay. What was the reaction? Why were individuals taking off cameras, trying to hide? Why was there the feeling of sand or soil immediately the murder of Charlie Kirk? All of those things are so weird when you are trying to find out what was responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. So for Frank Jurek, no one believes him, more especially also these individuals who try to use religion to defend their own crimes. I'm always skeptical of their kind of evidences which they provide. You can also see the behavior of TPUSA and those individuals who are handling currently the YouTube channel of Charlie Kirk. Those individuals are weird in terms of the responses which they are trying to give out. More especially when you observe, for instance, the video which AI video which they gave out to the public saying that Charlie Kirk had appointed Erika Kirk in case of his absence, he should go ahead and run TPUSA. Probably he anointed her to run TPUSA into the ground, which he has done perfectly right. Anyway, I like your thoughts about the rants of Frank Turek and her cursing out Candace Owen. See you in my next one. If you are interested in this kind of videos, go ahead, subscribe, like. See you in my next one. Siku njema.